Okay, I've had a few different requests to cover this one, so let's just jump right into it. This is Robert Fisher, and he was married to Mary Cooper, and they had two children, Brittany and Bobby. Now, Robert Fisher could potentially be 64 years old today, but unfortunately for his family, they will forever be 38, 12, and 10. So Robert served in the U.S. Navy, and he was a firefighter up until he had a back injury, and then he worked in the medical field. The family was living in Scottsdale, Arizona, and April 9th, 2001, a neighbor heard a loud argument coming from Robert and Mary's home. Then the next morning, 8:42 a.m., the family home explodes. And then they would find the bodies of Mary and the two children inside. Obviously, this was a huge explosion that destroyed a lot of the family home, but it didn't completely destroy their bodies. So police were able to find that Mary had actually been in the back of the head, and all of their throats had been. Now, him being a previous firefighter, apparently he was able to use some sort of delayed fuse with a candle or something to give him a pretty substantial head start, because this is him just before 11 p.m., the night before the explosion, and this is Mary's car in the background. He withdraws $280 from the ATM. 10 days later, Mary's car would be found in a forest area outside of Young, Arizona, and apparently the family dog was there, hungry and hiding underneath the car. And they searched nearby caves, because I guess there's a lot of caves in that area, so they searched some of the caves. Apparently they also found a set of prints heading into the Fort Apache reservation, but that was never searched. And that's it. So I guess the theory is that Mary was going to divorce him, and Robert was a child of divorce and apparently didn't want his kids to suffer that same fate. I don't know, it seems really twisted to me. But in 2002, he was added to the FBI's 10 most wanted list, but just recently in 2021, he was removed. Now, most people either believe that he took his own life or he died somewhere in the wilderness, maybe in a cave or something somewhere. But some people also think that he could very well be alive, and maybe he just assumed a new identity. I mean, it was pre 9/11, so it probably would have been easier for him to travel and like documents and so forth. So who knows? He could be out there. Like I said, they took his name off the list, and from what I read, it was basically like a number of things. Like, there hasn't really been any sightings, and then, you know, his age that he would be now, no more like criminal activity or anything like that. So they took him off. But there has been one sighting that was kind of weird, or not really a sighting, but a potential sighting. So apparently in 2004, this guy who looked a lot like him was arrested in Vancouver, Canada, and he had like the same gold cuspid tooth. He had the same scar on his back, but his prints didn't match. And detectives said that there was no evidence to suggest that he altered them in any way. So after holding him for a week, they released this man to a relative who again said, no, this is not Robert Fisher. But I mean, that's pretty weird that he looked a lot like him, had the same gold cuspid on the same tooth, and had the same scar on his back. So what do you think? Do you think he's passed away, these bones out in the wilderness somewhere, or do you think he's living amongst us under a new identity?